Tayo nang kilalanin ang official at mas pinalakas na complete lineup ng Magnolia Hotshots para sa PBA 50th Philippine Cup Playoffs. Point guards, Jerome Lastimosa, Rising Star, 5'11", 165 pounds, 27 years old, 13.7 points, 3.8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.4 steals, 42% three-point shooter, 76% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Mark Baroka, veteran star, 5'10", 170 pounds, 39 years old, 9.6 points, 4 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 0.7 steals, 23% three-point shooter, 84% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Gab Gomez, rookie, 5'11", 175 pounds, 25 years old, 0.8 points, 0.2 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 50% three-point shooter, 50 field goal percentage, 4 games played in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. L.A. Tenorio, playing coach, reserve list, 5'9", 152 pounds, 41 years old, 3.8 points, 0.8 rebounds, 0.8 assists, 0.5 steals, 60% three-point shooter, 8 minutes per game in his PBA 49 Philippine Cup Playoffs averages. Shooting guards, Paul Lee, veteran star, 6 feet, 200 pounds, 36 years old, 4.8 points, 3.1 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 0.6 steals, 35% three-point shooter, 100% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Peter Alfaro, sophomore, 5'11", 186 pounds, 25 years old, 3 points, 0.9 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.3 steals, 23% three-point shooter, 60% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Paulo Taha, 6 feet, 180 pounds, 34 years old, 1 point, 0.5 rebounds, 0.5 blocks, 100% free throw shooter, 5 games played in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Small forwards, Javi Gomez Deliano, Rising Star, 6'3", 193 pounds, 27 years old, 9.4 points, 3.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 0.4 steals, 31% three-point shooter, 75% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Rome De La Rosa, 6'3", 185 pounds, 34 years old, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.6 steals, 25% three-point shooter, 76% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Rafael Verano, 6'3", 200 pounds, 28 years old, 4 points, 1.2 rebounds, 0.3 assists, 0.2 steals, 80% three-point shooter, 5 games played in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Jamesyap, pending, signing, 6'2", 190 pounds, 43 years old, 3.6 points, 1.3 rebounds, 0.1 assist, 36% three-point shooter, 17% free throw shooter in his last PBA 48 Philippine Cup averages. Power forwards, Xavier Lazaro, star player, 6'6", 205 pounds, 25 years old, 17.4 points, 9.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.3 steals, 2 blocks, 27% three-point shooter, 70% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Chris Kuhn, rookie, 6'5", 209 pounds, 23 years old, 7.4 points, 4.2 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.6 steals, 36% three-point shooter, 18% free throw shooter in his ongoing PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Russell Escoto, 6'6", 200 pounds, 32 years old, 5.7 points, 1.8 rebounds, 0.3 assists, 0.2 steals, 40% 3-point shooter, 50% free throw shooter in his ongoing Pba 50th Philippine Cup averages. J.R. Kenyahan, pending, signing, 6'6", 235 pounds, 41 years old, 10.9 points, 3.6 rebounds, 1.1 assist, 0.5 blocks, 28% 3-point shooter, 100% free throw shooter in his 2025 MPBL 7th season averages. Centers, Ian Sangalang, veteran star, 6'7", 212 pounds, 33 years old, 11.1 points, 4.7 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.3 blocks, 51 field goal percentage, 72% free throw shooter in his ongoing Pba 50th Philippine Cup averages. James Laput, 6'10", 245 pounds, 29 years old, 6 points, 3.3 rebounds, 1.1 assist, 0.8 steals, 46 field goal percentage, 75% free throw shooter in his ongoing Pba 50th Philippine Cup averages. Yukian Andrada, new rookie, signing, 6'6", 210 pounds, 24 years old, 12.3 points, 5.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 0.5 steals, 0.5 blocks, 55 field goal percentage, 75% free throw shooter in his NCAA 100 season averages. Ito ang official at mas pinalakas na complete lineup ng Magnolia Hotshots para sa Pba 50th Philippine Cup playoffs. Sa tingin niyo mga kababos, kaya bang mag-champion ng bagong lineup ng Magnolia Hotshots ngayong Philippine Cup? I-comment niyo na po yan sa baba.